Hi guys, welcome to my channel and to my journey in beauty. Today's video is my Shop My Stash, Get Ready With Me. I mentioned in my very first Shop My Stash for December that every month I will be doing a Get Ready With Me, one of my weekly Get Ready With Me's, featuring my Shop My Stash products. Base and brows on. I'm going to show you real quickly what I used. For primer, I used the MAC Strobe Cream that I'm panning in my 12 Pans of Christmas. For foundation, I used the Physicians Formula, the Healthy Foundation. Mine comes in the shade LN4. Love it. Did use a little bit of the Pixie Brightening Correction Concentrate and Brightening Peach. And then I used my Sharp Tape, which is in my Grey's Anatomy and in the shade Light Neutral. So now you're all caught up and let's get started. So one of the things that I shot my stash for this month was this beautiful gift from my hubby. This is the Narcissist. I always forget which order the words go in. This is the Narcissist Cheek Studio Palette. So it has a setting powder, a contour shade, the Laguna bronzer, and 4 blushes here. I'm gonna go ahead and set my face with this powder. I haven't tried that just yet, and I wanna give it a shot. I think I did try it one day underneath my eyes, and in general, I don't like to powder my eyes, or powder under my eyes rather. So we're gonna try it on the face today, because it does look like a really nice shade for me. I did my base, one, to save time for you guys, but also I like to let my primer sit for a little bit before I apply my foundation, let it soak into the skin, especially when I'm using a glowy primer like the MAC Strobe Cream or the Becca Backlight priming filter. And so I let that sit in, and then I also like to let my foundation sit for a little bit before I powder my face. Then I find like I don't need to powder as much. It ends up looking less dry and or cakey no matter what powder I use. So that's kind of why I started that way. This is what we're looking like. Not bad at all. So before we move on to the colored face products, one of the other products that I shot my stash for was the Fenty Gloss Bomb in the original shade Fenty Glow. I'm going to put this on as a lip prep, and also so we don't have to look at foundation lips for the entire video. I love this. This has a really interesting fruity smell. I couldn't put my finger on it. Angela couldn't put her finger on it. Nobody I've talked to can put their finger on the smell. So if you know, let us know down in the comments. I think I'm gonna go ahead and take the contour shade, I believe it's called Paloma. Yeah. And do a little contour on my cheekbones. I am not super into contouring, so don't laugh. I'm still figuring it out. Okay. I am loving this series so far. Like, loving it. I just love the thought of rotating through my collection, concentrating, you know, like really concentrating on a handful of products every month. I think that's a pretty nice shade for me. Next, going in for bronzer, we're gonna go into the Laguna bronzer, and I actually really like this bronzer so far. I can definitely see why it's a cult classic from NARS. So anyways, I'm loving rotating through my collection, even though I've only done Shop My Stash 1 month so far. I'm looking forward to every month. It's absolutely a riot. And I also think that I'm getting a really good feel for these products that I have in my shop, my stash this month. I did use these like whenever possible this month while doing my makeup. So it's been a really beneficial experience for me so far. So I think that looks really nice. I definitely look more glowy in the camera than I feel like I do in real life, but there's nothing wrong with that. I'm going to not be reviewing any of these products for you today because I will be giving you reviews on all of these products in my Shop My Stash for January. Wow, my brain is not working. All right, let's talk blush. I really like these 3 blushes right here. I have yet to figure out a way to use this lavender shade, other than I know I could mix it with any of these 3 shades to create kind of a custom blush. So maybe we'll try that right now. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna go for a cool tone look based on my super cool Grateful Dead sweatshirt I'm wearing today. I'm gonna be running errands after this. So I think I'm gonna go in with this pink shade, which is Goulet, and mix it with a little bit of this purple shade, which is just blush number 1. I'm gonna dab into the lavender a few times and then dab into Goulet. I always feel like such a nerd when I'm doing my fish face. I think it did help soften that pink a little bit. That pink Goulet, whew, she's pigmented. That's pretty. Okay, maybe I did find a way to use the lavender. Yep, we're looking even. Okay, say bye-bye to the Narcissist palette. All done with that one. For my highlight today, I'm gonna go in with my Becca little mini highlighter in Opal. I'm not gonna show you the progress because this is in my Grey's Anatomy project pan. My goal is to hit pan on this. Wouldn't it be fun if I hit pan today? That would be amazing. I don't know how I feel about this Opal shade, if I'm being honest. It does appear to look really nice on my skin. I don't know. I guess mostly it just doesn't excite me. All right, going into the palette, we're gonna hook ourselves up with a look from the Sultry palette. First, I'm gonna go in and set my primer with this cream colored shade called Fresh. I don't always set my primer. In fact, a lot of times I don't anymore. But when it comes to ABH shadows, they're so pigmented. I just feel a little bit better at least setting in the crease and up to my brow bone where I'm gonna be blending out the mattes. So with a big fluffy brush, I'm gonna go into this straight taupe shade called Twig. And I will say all of the mattes in this palette are, you know, true to ABH style. They have kick up. The only one I don't feel like has any kick up, and like I said, this is not my review. I'll review it during my January stop my I'll review during my January stop my I will review it during my January Shop My Stash video. But Dystopian and Noir, thank God, the dark shades don't have a lot of kick up. So I find that to be really awesome. Maybe ABH is starting to understand that we like pigment, but we don't necessarily need the darkest shades to be super, super soft and pigmented necessarily. So the thing I like about these cool tone shades in here, like this one and that gray called Slate, is, I don't know if you can tell, but it looks darker in my crease. It actually gives quite a bit of definition to the eye without using more than one color. So there's what we're looking like, just that one Twig shade there. Like, this needs a little blend. Interesting, what I see in the mirror and what I see in the camera are always so different. It's really interesting. All right, so that's good for now. I am going to, however, go in with a deepening shade, which is this dark brown right here called Dystopian. Like I said, this has got like no kick up. It's buildable. It's a really good dark matte shade in my opinion. And then going back into Twig, which by the way, I don't know if you can tell, I've made a little dip in there using this all month, especially, you know, with my 5 days of glam, holiday glam makeup that I did with this. And I'm just gonna blend out Dystopian with a little bit of Twig. I don't know what it is, but I've been really into cool tone shadows lately. I don't know if it's a winter thing. I don't know if it's because we're seeing so many cool toned palettes and whatnot lately. I don't know if it's just because this is a new palette and it's kind of mostly cool toned. Who knows what the method to that madness is, but I am really enjoying cool tones. However, I would be interested to know what your jam is. Are you team warm, team cool? What's your jam? And just take that original fluffy brush that I set my primer with and try and soften this up just a little bit more. Now for some fun. I'm gonna go into this shade right here called Cinder. It's kind of a, what do I wanna call it? I feel like it's coppery, but it's almost a little more cool tone coppery, even though it doesn't look like it on my hand. So I'm going to go in with my finger first, and then I'll kind of blend it out a little bit into the crease. I will say thus far I'm having the best amount of success when applying these shimmer shades, or really metallic shades for that matter, with my finger. Which is something I don't do a whole lot. I just like using my brushes, but it works. I just think these tend to apply better that way. And I also will say there's several shades, including Cyborg, which is the shade I'm gonna use next, that perform a lot better with a glitter glue underneath. I think a lot of them are fine, but like Pearl right here is kind of a little chunky, as well as Cyborg right here, and I just think that they apply better with a glitter glue underneath. It's a little tiny blend. Now for the glitter glue, I'm gonna skip you through this part because, you know, it's glitter glue, and I'm gonna put it on my eyes on about the inner third. Okay, glitter glue is applied. Now I'm gonna try to go in with the Cyborg shade on a brush and see if I can do it that way, just because it's on the inner corner. I want to be a little bit more precise than my phalanges will allow me to be, so. Oh yeah, that one applies really well. I'm sure especially over a glitter glue. I will say too that even though, especially this shade and the Pearl shade are chunky and glittery, I have not experienced any fallout on my face from these shadows thus far. Gonna punch it up with my finger. Just look at it shine. Am I boring the crap out of you guys today? I feel boring. Going in with the same dark brown that we used in the outer corner, Dystopian. I'm just going to line against my lash line on the outer third of my lower lash line. I really like this technique with just the third there, I feel like it gives definition to the eye without it getting too dark down there. I'm gonna take this little Luxie brush from BoxyCharm and go back into the taupe called Twig. Would be a good country song. It's the taupe called Twig. I'm gonna go into Pearl and I'm gonna wet my brush, Fix Plus as always. This is the fluffy brush I used the taupe on. I'm gonna take this same brush and blend out the edges just a little bit with the original cream shade called Fresh. I'm gonna start at my brow bone and work my way down. I just wanna soften the edges, you know, do a little highlight on the brow bone as well as blend out the edges of the rest of the eye look. I don't think I have gotten one look out of here that I didn't love so far. And honestly, I'm not a neutral girl. So I'm not for sure which stars aligned for me to want this palette and then my hubby actually purchase it for me. There's Lucille. If you can hear her, she's about to, yep, there she is. She always has to scratch on the, and she doesn't have nails, but she still does it. She just has to scratch on the box spring before she jumps up on the bed. Again, I said it before and I'll say it again. I love her, but she is weird she will never use. She also does this thing, I don't know how many of you have girls for children or whatever out there. I guess they don't have to be children even, but my daughter leaves hair elastics all over the house. However, Miss Kitten the face, where is she? Oh, what are you doing? She's on the nightstand way over here. Anyways, this Miss Kitten the face here, she collects the hair things every night while we're sleeping and she puts them in her food dish. I will insert a picture here. It's a daily occurrence. She's so weird, but I could not love an animal more. So that is the eyes done. The next thing from my Shop My Stash that I've been playing with this month is the NARS Larger Than Life Long Wear Eyeliner in the shade Via Veneto. It's black. So I'm gonna go ahead and tightline with that real quick. And what do I want to use on the waterline today? This is the Pixie Eye Bright Liner in the shade number 1 Nude. I really like it. I don't know if I ever told you guys this or not, but I actually have a freckle on my waterline on my right eye. Fun little fact that you probably didn't know about me. Used to drive me bonkers when I was a kid though, because people would be like, you have something on your eye. I'm like, no, it's a freckle, dumbass. All right, my current mascara that I'm trying to use up because it's starting to dry out is the Too Faced Better Than Sex. Gonna put that on now. Alrighty, I actually am really enjoying this mascara this time around. I've had it a few times and I don't know if they were just old or whatnot. I definitely went through a stage with this where like for a week or so it was flaky, but then it kind of like congealed again and it wasn't flaky anymore. So would I pay full price for it? No, but I would use another deluxe sample if I received it. So for lips, my two options here are the NARS Velvet Matte Lip Pencil in the shade Dulce Vita, it is this color, and the Marc Jacobs Lamarck Liquid Lip Crayon in Plum and Get It, which is this shade. I know I'm cool tone and the plum would probably look nice, but I'm honestly thinking this color, just because. And then Hatter. What do I want to use for a lip liner? I think I'm gonna just go in with my tried and true Jean Bleu lip liner. Oh no, it needs sharpened. in the shade Brown Sugar. Well, yeah, we're gonna have to sharpen it. YouTube fail, be prepared. All right, we have a pointy pencil again, and here we go. Holy crap. Like a kid that can't color in the lines today. Boom. I know that the ombre lip thing, like with the darker lip liner and the lighter lip inside, is not really the thing anymore. Maybe I'm just a 90s girl at heart forever, but this needs sharpened too. What the frank? But I think I'm always just going to like that. I love my lips. They're kind of a favorite feature of mine. And so I just like the way my lips look when I use, ooh boy, a darker lip liner. By the way, if you're looking for a really good pencil sharpener that is still cheap, as in like $6 cheap, but will sharpen all of your like plasticky pencils and things like that, like butter, I highly recommend the NARS sharpener. Just laugh with me, guys. Just laugh with me. And just to be a little extra, I'm gonna take a little bit more of my Fenty Gloss Bomb on my finger or my phalange and just tap it on just for a little tiny bit of gloss. Boom. This is the final look. I actually feel like the pearl shade, which is kind of pinky, worked out rather nicely on the inner corner since it was wet. So what do you think? I really love this look. I love the things that I shop my stash for this month. Again, stay tuned to January's Shop My Stash video where I will be reviewing all of these products for you. And I hope all of your makeup days are beautiful makeup days. I will see you in my next video soon. Mwah!